Hi there and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. I'm so glad you're joining me today because I'm in the kitchen with an all-time classic. We're going to be making today zucchini slice, and who doesn't love a good zucchini slice? It's out of book 1, so we're going into the very first book that I ever published, and this is the recipe that we're going to make today. Now I also have it in the Cooking for 1 or 2. So in book 1 it serves 6, and in Cooking for 2 it serves 3. I couldn't get it down to 2 because of the amount of eggs in it. So what I did is I actually made that one that serves 3. I'll show you later because I just thought you might be interested to see how it looks. Okay, so let's think about what we need to talk about, and that is called winners. That's right, who doesn't love a winner? And we have 3 fabulous people that won a copy of book 5 from last week's Thursday with Annette with Roz, the fabulous Roz, making curry in a hurry. Now Bernie Meehan, Carmel Thompson and Jessica Carlin are all excited because yes, they've got a Percy signed copy in the mail. So of course we'll be giving away later, so stay tuned. Now the ingredients you need for a zucchini slice is pretty basic. It's a real good homey. I don't see anything here that people wouldn't love. So you have capsicum, celery, eggs, zucchini of course, onion, carrot, frozen corn and peas, some cheese, the low-fat cheese, some self-raising flour, pepper, and cooking spray. But if you've noticed, something's missing in the recipe, because normally you would also put in 3/4 cup of diced 97% fat-free ham. But you know what? I thought let's go veggie today because we kind of forget about the vegetarians a little bit, and I went, let's give them some love today. So I'm going to make it the vegetarian way. Of course, all you have to do is follow the recipe and put in ham if you wanted to add ham in it, of course. All right, so what we're going to do, oh, and thank you everybody for the enthusiasm from the show. Yes, it's great to not have the sling. My arm's getting stronger every day. Thank you for your support with the show. You know, spread the word. I'm back in the kitchen, and yes, I have preheated my oven to 180 degrees, fan 4. So if you've just tuned in, it's zucchini slice out of book 1 and the smaller version in Cooking for 1 or 2. So let's get started. I think we need to do some chopping. So let's start with the celery. You want 1/2 cup of celery. Now, because I'm doing the veggie version, you need 1 cup of extra vegetables. And it says that in the recipe, it'll tell you down the bottom, the zucchini one and the vegetarian way. Okay, so I'm just going to hand that to the side there and add as I go. So we want diced celery. So the way to do that is to go through like I'm doing, so you get smaller slices of the celery. You don't want really big chunks in with the slice, and everything goes in raw, and you want 1/2 cup of celery. And as I said, I'm going to do a little bit more because I'm going to add it to the vegetarian cup. And I really think the ham is lovely in it, but I just thought, let's go vegetarian today. And having the sharp knife really helps too with cutting your vegetables quickly and easily. All right, so I've got a bowl here to put my veggies in. Actually, I'll put that over there, I think. And my cup measure, and we want 1/2 cup of diced celery. Thanks for joining me today. I really look forward to spending time with you guys each week on the Tuesdays and Thursdays show. And it just makes it even more special that I can now do them on my own, and my arm is healing really well. I missed cooking actually. It was funny, you know, you always think, oh, it's lovely to have someone else cook for you, but after a while I was like, no, I want to cook dinner tonight. But I couldn't do the dishes either because my arm was just too sore. Hello, if you've just joined me, I'm making zucchini slice. This is a fantastic recipe because yes, it can be frozen. So if you make, make up a big one that serves 6, you might want to freeze some of it if there's only 2 of you at home. Like I love it as a light lunch or dinner, you know, and with some salad. Great to take to picnics, or if anyone, you know, you have to take a plate and you want to go savoury, then this is the winner. Everybody loves it. Now we're doing the red. Now I like the red because we've got enough green happening here, people. We've got the celery that's green, we've got the zucchini that's going to be the green thing. So let's put in red capsicum. All right. And you want half a cup. Notice I always chop the capsicum on the inside. I find it's tougher to cut from that side. From that side's the best way. Well, I personally find that. What about you? All right, so now we need half a cup of capsicum. So this is just the veggies going in because we're going to mix them in a minute. And all I have to do is just add a little bit more in here to do the extra for the vegetarian. Remember, this would normally have 3/4 of a cup of diced 97% fat-free ham.
Jenny's asked if you could replace the ham with mushrooms.
Jenny's asked a good question actually. See, there's my extra cup. So I've got the carrot, the celery and the capsicum in because I'm doing vegetarian instead of the ham, so it's a cup. I'm not sure about the mushroom dal. I think that mushrooms are quite wet. So when it's cooked, I don't know whether it'll make the mixture a bit mushier, but it's certainly worth a try. And I would do diced mushrooms, not sliced, and that might help it as well. All right, so now we've done our veggies in there. We've got to now do the onion, and then it's the zucchini. All right, so we do 1 onion diced. Now, if you wanted to, you could swap it for some shallots or spring onions or whatever you call them, but I do like the basics in this recipe. And this is what I think, sometimes you don't want the fancy stuff. You want the good old home cooking, and zucchini slice is that. So basically it's just a chopping. And with the grating, of course, if you've got a food processor, you might even find that's even easier, and you could just process it all in your machine. So that's even super easy. All right, so there is my onion. And last, what we've got to do, of course, is the zucchini. All right, so these are huge zucchinis, but they're in season at the moment, so they're going to be really fabulous and not expensive, which I love to save on the budget. So you might just chuck this in your food processor, but I'm going to just grate it because I find zucchinis really easy. I got Billy to grate the carrot for me ahead because I just didn't want to push my arm too much. It's doing well, but I just thought, well, you know how to grate a carrot. And so we want look, you can write it down 350 grams if you want to just weigh it. If you're buying zucchini, allow for those end bits to be cut off because they weigh and we don't use them. And this is what I think is so great about this recipe, because it's really, my way is healthier than how a lot of other chefs make zucchini slice. I was Googling this morning and I found a recipe from Julie Goodwin, who is a great home style cook. Remember, she was the first MasterChef winner. And let me just put this in here. I got a 2-cup measure. And we want 2 cups and we want it firmly packed. So that's, when I say firmly packed, it's not in there loose. You want to push it down. But anyway, I was looking at Julie's recipe and she put a lot of bacon. Oh, she put bacon in. I mean, I used the ham because it's lower in fat. She had the full fat cheese, lots of eggs. There was quite a lot of whole eggs, and you'll notice I've changed that a bit my way and I'm using the low fat cheese. But what surprised me, when I checked on a few other chefs, they put oil in the zucchini slice. Go figure, I have always made it this way, so I don't know how that would work. I mean, obviously they put it in, and she had half a cup of oil in there. So that really bungs the fat up, doesn't it? Pushing it down a little bit more. And it's just a great one to have in the freezer. I always think as well it's really good if you make it even a day or two ahead, because it sort of matures in flavour, which I think is no problem when it comes to zucchini slice. Okay, let's go over this thing. I'm going to wash my little hands. Oh my gosh, if you're just joining me, where have you been, Dale? We're like cooking away here. We're making zucchini slice out of, let me get my cloth. We're making zucchini slice out of book 1. It's also in cooking for 1 or 2 if you don't want a serve 6. All right, look at me cleaning up my little mess here. I'm so domestic today. All right, so here's our veggies. We've done them all. And what we're going to do is now put it all together, because I've got my cheese already grated, and that's the low-fat cheese. It's 100 grams if you want to weigh it. I've also got my carrot here, so I'm going to put that in. That was a cup. And let's get the bowl over and we'll show you how to put it together. Alrighty? So we need 3 egg whites. I always start with the whites first in case I accidentally slip a yolk in, because I can then go back. So, 3 whites. There we go. And then we beat the eggs before we put all the veggies and everything in so that it's blended. And 1 more egg white. So normally, oh, I've got not much shell there. Normally chefs would just use the whole eggs, but I look at it this way. The white is going to really hold it together. It's low in fat. By having the 3 egg whites, I've saved 18 grams of fat. And you're not going to know the difference, Dale. Trust me, it's fabulous. And you remember, I've got my oven preheated, 180 degrees, fan forced. Oh dear. Let's put this under here so it doesn't make a noise. Now we're just going to beat up the eggs. You could use a whisk if you wanted. And then we just fold it all together. I know, super easy. I love it. I'm so busy about making this today for you. There we go. All right, so the eggs are beaten, and this is where everything goes in. So you put in the zucchini, the carrot, the onion, the capsicum, the celery, and of course remember this is a vegetarian, so you probably have less vegetables there if you were making it the way it's in the book, because you would also have in here, how much? That's right, 3/4 cup of diced 97% fat-free ham. All right, so now this is where you've got to get in and really mix all those veggies up. Look at the colours, it's so vibrant. And as I said, zucchinis are in season. So don't forget, they are at their best right now, and they'll be at a best price. So I like to mix all the grated and the chopped stuff in first. Now we're going to put in the frozen peas and frozen corn. So lots of vegetables, isn't it? And let's mix that through first. Then we're going to put in the, I'll put in the cheese and then the flour. So as you can see, lots of stirring. Mix it all together. Oh, there's a chunk of onion, we don't want that. And the flour and the eggs will really hold it together, and so will the cheese. But look at this, beautiful. All right, so let's put in the cheese. Now, we've got a cup. We're only going to put in 2/3 into the mix because we want some cheese to go on the top. So that's why I've left it in here. There we go. So mix that in. Remember, your oven's 180 degrees fan force. Now, if you like slices like me, I love them. What you can do is go through the books. There's lots there for you. Like, for example, in book 1, you've got the zucchini slice, and it's in cooking for 1 or 2. Book 2, I've got asparagus and ham slice. That's really, when asparagus is in season, that's beautiful. In book 3, I've got salmon. It's a salmon bake, but it's actually a slice, and it has pasta in it. You'd like that one. I've also got in book 4 another fabulous vegetarian one I love, and that's the carrot spinach slice. That's really tasty. And then I've got in book 6 the salmon veg slice. In book 7 you've got my all-time favourite ham and corn slice, as well as the Mexican beef slice, which the hammer slice is also in the cooking for 1 or 2. All right, so in we go. There goes the flour. Let's get rid of this. Whoop. Self-raising flour in my soapy sink. And all we have to do then is get it in the dish and bake it. It takes about 35 to 40 minutes, sometimes even a little bit longer, depends on your oven. The key is you want it to be really cooked in the middle. So if your oven, you know, when you look at it and you go, oh, it's 40 minutes, but it still looks a bit anemic in the middle, cook it for another 5 or 10. Okay, you want it firm in the centre because there's a lot of mixture. And it also depends what dish you use. Like if you're using a pie plate, I find it takes a bit longer because it's a bit smaller and denser. Whereas what I'm going to use today is this. I'm going to use this one because I find it just spreads out more easily. We're going to just spray that with some cooking spray. Perfect. Let's put some cracked pepper in because I love a bit of pepper in here. Here we go. One final little mix. Oh gosh, it looks great. All right, let's move this over. Look at my messy little cook. Let's get my scraper now, and we're going to put it all into the dish, and then we top it with the cheese, remember? So here we go. You're going to spread that out. As you can see, this is a good amount, but it sort of, when it cooks, it sort of flattens a bit, and it's enough for 6 lovely generous serves. Or if you make it in the cooking for 2, it makes enough for 3. All right, let's pat that down. Look at this, isn't it fantastic? It's the zucchini slice, so easy, so fabulous. And as I said, if you've got a machine, you could just grate everything and it'd just be so much more easier than hand grating. But there we go, flatten it. Let's put the cheese on the top. I always use my own, I grate my own cheese. I don't like the pre-grated one, it's a bit clumpy. It doesn't melt as well either. I think you get more when you do it this way because you don't, I'm not super generous with cheese because obviously it's a bit high in fat, but you certainly want enough. There we go, yum, zucchini slice in the oven. "35 minutes, I'll check it in 35. Let me show you another thing that I do as well. For, you know, if I go making it for a function, I'll tend to make it in this glass lasagna. It's a small lasagna dish. And I find that works well when you're taking it out because you can cut it in squares and it's easier for people than getting the wedges. So just a thought, if you're taking it somewhere, maybe that's a good idea for you as well. Well, I've certainly made a bit of a mess here, haven't I? But I'm excited to be in the kitchen for you. Let me show you what it looks like, already cooked, out of the Cooking for 1 or 2 book. So there we go. I bought this little smaller pie plate in one of the cheap shops, and they have lots of little lasagna dishes like that, which I was lucky to find. And this is enough for 3, so I will be cutting it like this. 1, 2, 3. Bit of salad, some veggies, yum! And that is, as I said, out of Cooking for 1 or 2. Now, if you want to win, you can choose actually between, if you want, you can have book 1, or if you want, you can pick the Cooking for 1 or 2 because the zucchini slice is in both. What do you have to do to win? Well, you just have to like, share, and you know what you gotta do in the comments to hashtag Symply #2 good. Remember, it's the SY for Annette Sym and the 2, Symply 2 good, and I will pick 3 people to win a fabulous signed copy for your pleasure. I mean, when you look at this, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? 6.6 grams of fat a serve, the veggie was 6.3. Yes, I've got you covered, it's fabulous. What am I making next week? Yes, I'm back in the kitchen, but I'm not going to be in this kitchen. I'm actually going to be at my daughter's in Oran Park in Sydney because we're babysitting. It's their 10th wedding anniversary. They're having a little holiday, so we're going to be down there minding our little granddaughters, Sophia, Annette and Madison. So we'll be using her kitchen next Tuesday and Thursday, which I'm excited about. But what am I making? Well, Tuesday we're going to India and we're doing Indian tikka chicken out of book 6. It is an easy recipe. I wanted it easy because I'm in someone else's kitchen, but you're going to love it because it's jam-packed with beautiful flavours and so much lower in fat than the traditional Indian way. And on Thursday I'll be back again and I'm making Sym slaw. I thought we're still doing salad. It's out of book 2, but also out of Cooking for One or Two. And I'm going to do it out of the Cooking for One or Two. It's just to show you how you can have salads without making a big bowl for 100 people. And Sym slaw is fabulous. It is something, you know, it's got apples, sultanas, it's got curry in it. Oh my gosh, it's not a coleslaw. It is fabulous. So I'll be making that for you next week. And remember to go in next Tuesday and by next Tuesday, go into simplytoogood.com.au, which is my fabulous website. Go in there and download the Indian tikka chicken recipe, buy the ingredients, cook it with me, because then you've got dinner done and we can cook together. How much fun is that? Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. I've had a great time making the zucchini slice for you, and I think someone who's very vegetarian is going to be very happy when I donate this to them. Anyway, I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye now.